A warning before you listen.
What you are about to hear is not meant for children, nor for the faint of heart. This is an unfiltered retelling of ancient myths, told as they were born, raw, violent, unsoftened. Expect scenes of brutality, curses that linger, betrayals that reshape fate, and a hunger for power that shows no mercy. These myths were never meant to lull children to sleep. They were forged in blood, shadow, and fire. So ask yourself, are you ready to hear them as they were first told? Sources and references can be found in the episode description.
Chapter 5: The Sickle That Never Rusts, and Rhea, Who Is Never Forgotten, from the epic The Age of Silence between Tyranny and Thunder. The air in that hall was unlike any other place. Even the dust refused to move, as if time itself was too ashamed to step across its floor. That room, no one entered it, no one spoke of it, but Rhea knew the way, as if the walls themselves bowed in reverence to her steps. The hall of the Sickle, the room where pain was born, where the sky was first split open. She entered, not as a queen, but as memory itself. A memory walking on its own, needing no witness, no explanation. And there, in the center of the chamber, the sickle lay, uncovered, untouched by rust, as though it had been forged from blood that refused to dry. She didn't touch it. She didn't even step too close. But her eyes, they caressed it like a mother wiping the face of her child. This was the weapon that ripped the heavens from their entrails, the blade that severed a father and crowned a king, a knife that didn't just tear through Uranus's flesh, but tore history in two, before and after. She stood there, gazing, when suddenly she saw another hand reach for it.
A hand she couldn't see but recognize with the certainty of her own heartbeat. Zeus. She saw him, not with her eyes, but with a vision pouring from her very bones. Holding the sickle the way a child holds his first toy. Did she rejoice? Did she fear? She didn't know. She only trembled, as if time itself had leaned down to ask, were you dreaming of vengeance, or were you always afraid of it? She had thought the sickle was asleep, but now it glowed, and since Zeus was born, since her flight into the cave, since she wore the mask of surrender, since silence became her home, she had never felt this kind of bleeding from the inside. The sickle had not rusted, because the blood it waited for had not yet been spilled. And in another wing of the palace, Cronus was still awake, lying to himself, telling himself the prophecy had faded, that the stone he swallowed had truly been a child. But the echo always came back whenever he tried to close his eyes. One will rise, one your gut never tasted. The one who lived will be the one who ends you. He'd hear his own voice murmuring, it's over. But then his heart would deny it, and his mind would scream, you're lying. The other titans did not speak, but they no longer looked at him the same. He remained their ruler, but no longer their hero. The sickle, once hung as a symbol of victory, now gleamed as something else. That which is hung is not triumph. It is a promise unfulfilled. And Rhea? She left the hall as she had entered, in radiant silence. But in her eyes there burned a fire, waiting for a small hand to one day take the sickle and whisper, this is not your weapon, mother. It is my right. This chapter of the epic has come to an end. But remember, what you've just heard is not a record of facts, but the echo of a myth, a story born from the imagination of the ancients, etched into the long memory of humankind. If this tale stirred something in you, if it opened a door to reflection or wonder, don't forget to support the channel and share the journey with those you love. And in the comments, tell us, which moment in this chapter struck you the most and why? We'll meet again in the next chapter of this audio odyssey through time.
Until then, farewell.